Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya.
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shiva Sate Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shiva Sate Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Haribol, Haribol.
Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Haribol, Nitay Gaur, Jai Nitay Gaur.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Ano bol? Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. 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 Ano bol? Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Goranga, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Goranga. Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa, Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa. Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Naminehi Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prastaya Te. Thank you very much. Horrible Namaste. Good morning, everyone. So let's discuss now the subject matter regarding or in connection with devotional practice we're doing. And we can see if we're making progress through the guidance of our instructing spiritual master. So all of you here, before coming in contact with this science, your eagerness or your quest or your endeavor is based upon or centered upon what you think will be your security and shelter. Because in this world, it's a struggle always. To get what we want, we have to work and we have to carry on and engage in activities that will be centered and focused upon achieving what we think the goal of life. Okay. So when we speak about liberation, freedom, it comes with wisdom. And what is that wisdom? It is about our true eternality, about our transcendental eternal position, and our eternal function. So in our endeavor, all of you here, it is described in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, ma'am. Excuse me. Ano rice? I don't know. Wala sa mind ko yan. Just think about it. So back to the point of liberation or freedom. Okay. So the reason we endeavor so hard is because we want to find relief from what we're longing for. And what is that all about? It is about happiness. It's about fulfillment. So in Bhagavad Gita, it is described there that when a person identifies himself as the body, so he sees this world differently from someone who has this wisdom about the true transcendental nature of life, the Supreme Person, and this material world. So it acts like this. Through sense perception, okay, one begins to contemplate. Okay? And while contemplating on the object of the senses, one begins to become attached. It's like this. You were brought up in a certain conditioning. You think you belong to this country, you have this family, and then you're brought up in such a way. Most of us were educated in the material education, and the focus is simply economic development. So the goal of life, according to one's karma or one's destiny, will be different. But in a nutshell, it's all the same. Material acquisition and material security. For example, you go to school to achieve a certain degree. Okay. You endeavor, you work hard with a goal in mind to have this security. So what you perceive through your senses, through your mind, under the influence of the modes of passion, or the three modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, that will be the driving force that will propel you externally with what you see through your senses. But the longing of the soul, you, which is you're inseparable from life, your life, love, inseparable from life, living, active by nature, will be misdirected upon this material world, which is the prison house. You become shackled through sense perception. You begin to contemplate, and then we begin to follow the dictates of the mind, which is the desire to achieve something, thinking this will give me happiness, motivated by the mode of passion or goodness or ignorance. Then in that endeavor, it is about following the desires, and we experience this emptiness in our heart, this fear, this burden. While we're shackled already with this false bodily conception, we are shackled and imprisoned in this material world. So our endeavor to find security becomes null and void even at the beginning, because it's a misdirection of what we should be very eager to achieve. Okay? But with ignorance, or in ignorance, in short, in darkness, ignorance, darkness, not knowing it, then you're in for a ride, because you're so blind, you're now driven by a force that is insurmountable, and you, the living entity, who by nature is so small, insignificant, will be like the cloud driven by the wind to the direction that the wind goes. Okay? Have you seen now there's typhoon or low pressure area? All the clouds is being driven going to the north. Okay? Manila. So why not try to ponder, think, and ask this question: where am I going, or where am I heading? Okay. Where am I going? Where am I heading? Okay. Will it be a blind endeavor dictated by the desire in the mind, driven by the modes of material nature? Then what will happen is that what is sweet in the beginning becomes bitter in the end. Even relationship, what you're doing, because in the beginning you have this desire to get so many material things for your security. You're thinking this world is your security. So you endeavor, you use your precious time, which does not belong to you, God's love for you. You use material energy, which is actually God's energy. But with ignorance, you cannot appreciate that the love that has been given to you can be used and directed to be your shelter, which is guided by God Himself. So, when one comes in contact with the representative of God, the spiritual master, his eagerness will be directed towards his true transcendental nature as eternally the loving servant of God. And his goal or her goal will be focused upon a connection with pleasing and doing the will of God. So what will happen to the process that is given to us? God Himself descend as the holy names coming from the lips of the pure devotee, which is Lord Krishna is the Lord of love. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is love itself because it is God's, He's the personification of God. He's a person and His name is not different from Him. So the spiritual master, out of his kindness, gives us this process that will connect us with what we're longing for. Our love, our natural world of transcendental engagement will be focused upon the eagerness to do what is pleasing to God. And in that process, your eagerness is enhanced and enhanced and enhanced. That's why Lord Chaitanya, who came here, in the mood of Radha and Krishna, he's always chanting, remembering, relishing the pastimes of the pure loving servant of Lord Krishna, the gopis in Vrindavan. And he's here in the material world, relishing that sweetness of separation. In the material world, all of us here, we try to work so hard and try to endeavor to get this material achievement. Okay? And while we're not getting it, you have this anticipation. And in this anticipation, what is that all about? It's about our consciousness. What if I don't get it? What if I don't pass the test? What if I marry someone and that person is not really the person, that will give me happiness? Okay? And then what if you become attached to that person and then that person, you have so much worries in your mind. What if that person leaves or goes with someone else, It's always the anticipation. Okay? The anticipation of this illusion wherein you're not able to get what you want and hoping against hope to get what you want. You're already miserable because you are shackled and focused upon this temporary world. And this is the imprisonment that the spiritual master and Krishna wants us to become free. So how will it be done? It is through the process of purification that purifies us from all these material desires. We become liberated, meaning free from material desires because of the process that is so fulfilling and purifying that our love can now be sheltered. Our life can be sheltered upon loving remembrance of the Supreme Person through the chanting of the holy names. So while you're endeavoring, engaging in activities that is connected with your heart, you have this eagerness. In the material world, it's not like that. The eagerness is there, but the anticipation of wanting to get it, and if it's not achieved, you're always fearful, you're always anxious, because you know you cannot always get what you want. And you're limited. That worry. For example, even relationship, okay? Kids in this school, okay? You get attracted to someone, and you want to have a relationship with that someone, A young boy sees the young girl, So he makes so much endeavor, okay? I hope she sees me, okay? The girl's also like that. I hope I can find someone who will be loving and serving me, taking shelter of that person. So this illusion under the spell of material nature, dictated by the mode of passion, will be our shackle, the anchor in this material world. So the spiritual master comes, cut this ignorance with wisdom. With wisdom. So those who are intelligent who are blessed, who will appreciate the mercy, the love that is given to them when they come in contact with the disciplic succession or the pure loving servant of God, will appreciate and hear and listen and apply it in their lives. But those who are less intelligent will continue to experience and try to imagine the goal that is a dead end, because their struggle for happiness and survival will come to the end, because it is based upon the security of grasping or controlling what will be separated from me at the time of death. And the pain there is your attachment to this temporary world, to that person who is not self-sufficient and who will not really satisfy what you're longing. That's why even those who are chanting, who are initiated disciples, they marry someone, okay? I will marry a devotee, okay? Then after a while, how come it's fading? It's fading because of material consideration. It's fading. You're not the same person that I used to be loving and serving. And not only that, I long for that love and service, but it seems that you're not delivering it. Your mind is somewhere else. Okay? What is sweet, it's not just bitter, no? It fades away. Lumamig na ang akala natin pag-ibig. Sa una, mainit. Kumukulo. Ngayon, bahaw na. Okay? It becomes stale. Because it is a world of truly, the living entity who is active by nature is trying to find security in something that is inactive matter. The living entity tries to relate to someone deflected upon the body based upon his desire to grasp, and it becomes his shackle. He grasps, like put this, what do you call this? Ano yung posas sa English? Okay, the shackle, okay? Yung, handcuff, okay? But now it's not handcuff when you get caught by the police. They tie, what's this? Yung plastic knot. Okay. No, because it's so bulky to carry this, handcuffs. They bring this big plastic or tape. They tape your hand. So it's like that. So back to the point of the reason is just the premise of our situation. We're in darkness, in predicament, and it is based upon ignorance. Okay? You can see it around. And the question is, why push it? Why push it? Okay? You cannot make it, but you are being pushed, by a force that is so much greater than you, that propels you to be diving in that world of darkness or imprisonment. You look around. Look at your parents. Look at your lola. Look at everybody else. Look at those great rock star, or what you think, those individuals who are seemingly the epitome, or they call icon of success. Where are they? Look at their lives. Okay? So, we're all in the same boat in this material world. Okay? This material world is like a boat that has capsized and we're drowning in this ocean. And the spiritual master comes. He brings the holy names to purify us. God himself descends. And this is the effect of chanting the holy names. I'll read this to you so you can check Because it's not belief, it's not just sentiment, I am making progress in my relationship with God. It's not like that. You experience it, just like when the spiritual master gives you, he gives an analogy wherein he gives you this, this honey is very sweet. It's organic, it's made from macadamia nuts and, macadamia trees, and the flower. Look at this honey, okay? And you look at it from the outside. So it's like, if you don't open the lid and you don't taste the honey, you won't be able to taste the experience of the sweetness of that honey. You'll be like a fly or a bee just roaming around, looking, watching from the outside. So that will be an analogy for those who are making, who are endeavoring to achieve success in the material world, and not only that, to follow someone who cannot deliver them from what they're longing. So who can deliver us? God Himself. So He comes as the holy names from the lips of the pure devotee. So the effect of chanting the holy names, you become free from all these encumbrances, because you are able to understand who you are. You're able to see the difference between matter and life. You're able to see how futile your endeavor of struggle for survival. Okay. If you make so much effort to achieve a goal, okay, you undergo, what do? You engage in austerity and sacrifice. Austerity, you go to school for how many years? From nursery, 7, now it's already, you have grade, you 5 years old, plus 2, 7, plus 4, 11, plus 4, 15 years. Okay? 15 years. In the beginning, you just play around in the school, okay? Go, and the teacher said, raise your arm, okay? Raise your hand. And then you raise the bolo, what do you do in public school? You raise the bolo, okay? Raise the broom, okay? And then clean the surroundings, okay? You do that, and then you go to high school, you go to college. Then after achieving all this knowledge and wisdom, what do? You now check, am I capable? Will I pass the test? Okay? You want this, label, okay? This label. I'm a professional, okay? And then when you achieve that, you have to look, and what you do, offer yourself, your time, your energy to get something. Okay? It's like you go apply for a work. What do? You're offering what you have. Huh? Go. Oh, the guy will tell you, who are you? Tell me something about your life, okay? How can we see that you're an asset to the company? You blah, 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 blah. I watch you, okay? And then you're just like a beggar, please, okay? So your achievement or your success will be dependent upon your karma, okay? Because when you apply for a work, like for example, that's why we tell kids here, you know what? You must learn skills, because when you go applying for a work, there will be others who will be applying for a work. It's like everybody wants to get a job, okay? Like in Manila, they need a manager, okay? And 200 people comes to, for the interview, and you're there, and you don't know anything. And they begin to ask questions. What's your name? Lulaw ko. Okay? So, that's the world of, uncertainty. Not because you are not given the opportunity to understand the truth, because of our negligence to listen and hear and listen from authorities. we'd rather experience what already have been experienced by all those gunners who are gone, who failed, and we try to endeavor again to achieve what they achieved. Okay? I'm not saying that you don't need to work. What I'm trying to tell you is that the endeavor you're trying to focus will be the same cycle. History repeats itself, and you're just there doing the same thing. What we call from cradle to grave. You know what's cradle? You're born in this world. The mama put you in a cradle. You know what's cradle? Okay, in the Philippines, they just not like those what you see in the Western world. The cradle will be the duyan made out of, blanket. Okay, baby, 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 hey, baby, 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 hey. Then after that, another cradle. There's this forlorn, and the cradle is that, from cradle to graveyard. From cradle to graveyard. And if you're intelligent, you ask, is there a way out here? Okay. So that's the point, the premise I'm trying to lay down to you, okay? So now you're chanting the holy names, you've come in contact with this wisdom. You can check if you're making progress, okay? I'll read to you the teachings of the spiritual master. Just like when you go to school, you want to become a professional teacher, you go to this, you review how to pass the let, okay? But now it's like choosing, at random. Okay, and then they let you write an essay. There's a possibility you'll pass. Okay, even though I me more, I love you, she loves me, not she loves me. So this I'll and then you pass the let. Okay, so that is the. But in this arena of wisdom, you know clearly, without a doubt, how to make progress towards the goal. Okay? What's that goal? To connect your heart, your love, with sweet Lord Krishna, Govinda. Okay? With this unconditional love. Because a lot of kids comes here in Madana, Mohana. Okay? So they're given this opportunity. A lot of teachers comes here. But they have their already mindset, what they want to do with their lives. So we try to give them this wisdom that if they leave, they can apply this, okay? But the choice to relate to please God, should come from you, okay? Because God will never impose upon you Himself. He's very sweet, He's very gentle, He's very, He respects you. So He comes like the sun comes. It's up to you to go under the sun so you can see light. Okay? So I read to you this achievement of our practice of devotional service, the chanting of the holy names. So you check if you're making progress, okay? Just like my spiritual master was telling me, when a person is drowning, he needs air. He struggles so hard. I need to survive. Okay? He does not sing that song. We will survive because you will survive eternally. The question, will it be in this imprisonment, in this dead material world, the world of suffering, or your survival will be your attachment in relationship with the Supreme Person, attachment that is not temporary but eternal. It is your eternal world of meditating in separation, in doing the will, and be very, appreciating and experiencing the happiness of a relationship with God. And you begin to see everything that is here as not really what you should be focusing and trying to grasp, because the grass you have, the embrace, you have to leave it. So it's already decided that it's a dead end. Okay? Your struggle for survival in the material world will come to an end because you have to leave the body. Okay, I'll read this to all those who have come in contact with this wisdom, and I'll try to narrate to you the experience of the devotees of what is a transcendentalist. So transcendentalist means not touched by this world. He is someone who is connected with the pleasure of God, the will of God. Okay, what's that all about? It is exemplified by Lord Chaitanya, God Himself, so we can enter that world, to get out of this miserable world. While we're in this world, we will be experiencing this intensity of separation from the person we love through the chanting of the holy names. Because God will reveal Himself to you, because God, the Supreme Person, is just sitting by your side, the Paramatma. He's just there waiting to give you instruction, to guide you through the process that is given to us by the loving servant of Lord Krsna, our Gurudev. Then we begin to appreciate what is life, what is happiness, what is fulfillment, and then we become very eager to just focus upon that because it's the driving force of our life, love. Completely, before it's a direction upon this temporary world, now we see what this world is all about. Eagerness for achieving the desired result. When one is sufficiently eager to achieve success in devotional service, that eagerness is called samukanta. This means complete eagerness. Actually, this eagerness is the price for achieving success in Krishna consciousness. Everything has some value, and one has to pay the value before obtaining or possessing it. It's stated in the Vedic literature, to purchase the most valuable thing, Krishna consciousness, one has to develop intense eagerness for achieving success. This intense eagerness is very nicely expressed by Bilba Bangala Thakur in his book Krishna Karnamrita. He says, I'm eagerly waiting to see that boy of Vrindavan, whose bodily beauty is captivating the whole universe, whose eyes are always bounded by black eyebrows and expanded like lotus petals, and is always eagerly glancing over his devotees. And therefore, moving slightly here and there, his eyes are always moist. His lips are colored like copper, and through those lips there comes the sound vibration which drive one's mother than a mad elephant. I want so much to see him at Vrindavan. So when the resident of Vrindavan, the gopis, they criticize the Creator for giving them two eyes and eyebrows and these eyelids that blink. They pray that He's not really understanding or the best in creation because He should have given us millions of eyes to see Krishna. Okay. So, what do you do with your eyes? When you become free from false bodily identification, you begin to see that you're looking through the eye. It is not the eye that's looking to you. I'm looking through the eye. I'm seeing you because the light touches you and it's deflected upon my... I can see this material world and you, the person inside that body. I can hear through the ear, okay? So when one begins to chant, he becomes free from false bodily identification. He begins to see this world as transitory or moving. And there's no real foundation for relief or security because everything that is here is under the laws of transformation of energy, that is all moving because it's made out of atoms and molecules. All the forms that we see here are continually changing. Okay? So who gives you that vision? It is the Supreme Purifier, Krishna. He protects your love, your heart. And that is achieved when that eagerness is connected with a relationship with this loving servant. So by the mercy of the spiritual master, the pure loving servant who loves me, who loves all of us, He introduces us to Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna, through the process of purification, especially the well-wisher, our eternal well-wisher, Lord Krishna and the spiritual master, our progress towards longing to be with Krishna becomes enhanced. And our meditation will not be upon this temporary world. So we're able to be liberated, to become free from material desires. We're able to see this separation from doing what is pleasing to God. But we engage in austerity and sacrifice, on and on. We experience this feeling of separation, but it doesn't mean that we stop in the process of longing and serving. We make a stand because it gives us so much fulfillment and happiness to remember the source of happiness and pleasure, the source of love, a relationship with God. So Lord Chaitanya, who is here in the material world 5,500 years ago with his devotees, they're all thinking of Lord Krishna, and those who are here were serving Lord Chaitanya in his longing to be tasting what is very sweet, loving remembrance in loving separation of the relationship between the residents of Vrindavan and Lord Krishna. So here, our longing anticipation is based upon what is not eternal, the forms of this world, the success. What is that all about? Economic development, okay? Social programs. It's all about this world. Capitalism, communism, philanthropism, okay? It's all about this world. And then when you become intelligent through this wisdom, then you can use now your intelligence, guided by God Himself, that you can connect your heart, your life to serve Krishna. It's not about this world anymore. So while we are in a situation, we have this body, you may be a mother, you're the role you're playing, then your heart, your mind, everything that you do is centered around a connection with rendering loving service to the Supreme Person. And that is achieved through the guidance of someone who loves Him. And that is the spiritual master. And he tells us, chant the holy names. Okay. So when we follow by heart the instruction, then Krishna is pleased. And if Krishna is pleased, then the source of happiness, we become connected with this happiness. That's why the spiritual master, Lord Krishna, even Lord Krishna was there's only one spiritual master, Lord Krishna, okay? And it is a relationship of different individuals who are all connected with Lord Krishna, like Arjuna. And he tells us, listen from someone who have seen the truth. And what is that truth? It is about our eternality, the difference between matter and life, and we are the living life, eternal. And our position is that we should be in a world of rendering pure loving service to the Supreme Person, just like the residents of Vrindavan. And it is achieved through the guidance of someone who is a resident of Vrindavan, following the footstep of the saintly person. So you get out from this darkness, okay? You begin to see, wow. Just like the description is like this. There's this burning forest, and there's a way out, and you're running towards that place. There's water, and the forest is burning, okay? You don't turn around and try to what they call backslide, because you see that while you're running, getting away from the forest, all the animals, the lion, the snakes are there also wanting to escape. But you are now ahead, and you can get out of that place, this burning jungle. So the load you're carrying, the shackle, the imprisonment, when one is under the influence of lust, then that will be thrown away because that lust or the misdirection of your love in the wrong direction will be now focused upon doing what is pleasing to Krishna, and that is achieved through the chanting of the holy names. So it is the beginning, it will also be the end itself, because you enter that world of experiencing a separation, a longing to do the will of God. While you're here in this world, you live a life of longing to do the will of the Supreme Person, to be pleasing, and that is your meditation in different capacity. You may be a mother, a student, but that is your world. So how do you do that? Under the guidance of the spiritual master. You engage in the process of devotional practice, and the criteria is about devotion, because Lord Krishna guides us, tells us, if one offers me with love and devotion a little fruit, a little water, a leaf, I will accept it. The guidance is devotion, meaning your love must be focused upon the source of love, the source of happiness. And that is achieved when you chant the holy names of Krishna. Okay? Your love that you're longing for to be fulfilled will be sustainable in a longing of separation, that it becomes enhanced and enhanced. Your eagerness becomes so strong that everything that is a stumbling block, the desire, this moving world, becomes irrelevant to you, but rather focus upon that person you are trying to relate. Just like when a mother, for example, a mother, a child, he has this baby, who she loves so much, she crawls down and falls upon the creek, and the kid will be drowning. The mother will not be thinking about, oh, I don't know how to swim. She will jump immediately, okay, to save the child because of her love for the child. Okay. So Lord Krishna tells us, if you only give your love, you follow, you surrender, Surrender doesn't mean you just raise your, I join the group. No, I follow someone who's, who everybody tells, this is the person who's advanced, follow him, he'll take the walk for you. No, it's not like that. It is you who have to take the walk. Okay? It means it is you who should make this decision. I want to serve and love you. Please allow me, I humbly pray, to please engage me in your loving service. And that is the meaning of chanting the holy names. When you chant the holy names, it's a prayer you pray. My dear Lord Krishna, please kindly engage me in your loving service. Okay? And the more you engage in the chanting, the more you become purified from all this. The shackles are cut off. Those who have a hard time, they're telling us, I have so many vices, I cannot stop smoking. If you chant, all the impurities, the vices, is will be cut off. Okay? The shackles will be cut off, okay? You become master of your senses. You can control the urge of the mind, meaning you can redirect the mind and not follow the urge of the mind based upon ignorance and a direction of emptiness. You shed up all the load because you will be now under the care of someone who is in control. And that control is not based upon force, but upon love. That's why we must make effort to engage in the process that is pleasing to God, to love Him. That's all. So you may ask this question, how can I achieve that? What will I do? Then offer your life, your love to the Supreme Person in devotion. Okay? Not offer your love and direction upon following material desires. Now your life will be directed upon what is eternal and transcendental. And you're not alone, because the spiritual master blessing and love, the wisdom, which is inseparable from his love, the Lord within the heart will be guiding you. if we follow simply the instruction of the Lord from the outside, the spiritual master, and our life becomes pleasing to Krishna, he notices you. Just like this person I trying to tell you, he's an illiterate person, a Brahmana, okay? Illiterate Brahmana. His spiritual master tells him, okay, I'll give two example, okay? The Brahmanas, illiterated, tells him, read Bhagavad Gita. And when he came in contact with the spiritual master, he followed the instruction of the spiritual master, reading Bhagavad Gita without knowing the meaning. But the Bhagavad Gita is Krishna himself. So the sound he reads connects his love and heart. And so he's in this samadhi, experiencing happiness, ananda, while reading Bhagavad Gita. And everybody's laughing from the outside because they're trying to enter the world of what is transcendental with their imperfect senses. And this Vaishnava or devotee enters that world by connecting his love, his life, faithfully in listening to the desire and will of Krishna. The spiritual master tells him, read Bhagavad Gita. Okay? Or like Ishvara Puri tells Lord Chaitanya, chant the holy names. And what happened when Lord Chaitanya passed by, he saw this devotee and he said, wow, this person is a devotee, okay? There are many Brahmanas there, but this person, Krishna begins to become, he gets attracted not with our external, but with our love and devotion. That's why the residents of Vrindavan, Lord Krishna is always thinking of them. Okay? That's why at the conclusion, he tells, Lord Krishna tells us, saints are in my heart. I'm always in their heart. I'm always thinking of them. They're always thinking of me. Okay? And declare it boldly, my devotee never perish. That relation, Krishna protects them. Okay? So what we should do, we should put our lives in the hands of that protection, our love, offering to Krishna. Okay? That's the only offering we can do, our love. So while we're struggling in this world, our love, which is inseparable from us, should be a direction of a connection in doing what is pleasing to Krishna. And it is achieved through the chanting of the holy names. Haribol Namaste.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prastayate
Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prastayate
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Chaitanya Haribol
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Chaitanya
Radha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasudeva Bhakta Vrinda
Radha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasudeva Bhakta Vrinda
Gopala Govinda Rama
Hari Bol Krishna
Madana Mohana
Hari Bol Krishna
Gopala Govinda Rama
Hari Bol Krishna
Madana Mohana
O Paramahamsa Rama Madana Mohana O Paramahamsa Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama
Hari Bol Krishna
Madana Mohana.
O para Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. O para Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Hari Bol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna.
Madana Mohana.
O para Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. O para Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Hari Bol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda
Hari Bol
Rama,
Krishna.
Madana Mohana.
O para Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. O para Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Hari Bol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda
Hari Bol
Rama,
Krishna.
Madana Mohana. Haribol.
O para Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. O para Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna.
Madana Mohana.
O para Govinda
Lord Krishna, Lord, Nitai Lord. Jai Jaya Gurudev. Haribol, Haribol.
para Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Hari Bol Krishna,
Jaya Jaya Goranga.
Hari Bol Krishna,
Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Hari Bol Krishna.
Jaya Jaya Goranga.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gauranga. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gauranga.
Jaya Jaya Srila
Hari Bol
Prabhupada.
Krishna,
Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Hari Bol Krishna,
Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada.
Hari Bol Krishna.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda.
Hari Bol Krishna,
Paramahamsa.
Hari Bol Krishna,
Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda.
Hari Bol Krishna,
Paramahamsa.
Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa. Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda. Paramahamsa Namine. Gora Karuna Swarupaya. Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Davide, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prestayate.